I'm going to sow some chives. So chives, although you can grow in seed trays and modules, I prefer to grow them in pots and sort of leave them there essentially. Sow them where they're going to end up for the season. So I've got these fairly large pots that I'm going to sow into, and if I find that they become overcrowded before the end of the season, I'll plant them into something this sort of size. And all I would do is I could either gently tease out, which is why I'm using these more flexible ones, gently tease out the root ball and plant it in, or I could just cut the pots apart and gently lower it into there so that it was taking up that sort of room. And I've gone for something here which is about twice the size of the pot that I'm planting into. Okay, so let's sow these. What compost am I using? Well, for chives you could use a few different things. You could use grit in your mix, but I think if you're sowing direct, lovely mix is just a finely sieved multi-purpose compost with a bit of vermiculite in, and the vermiculite's giving it a bit of structure but also helping to retain water, because if I give that a squeeze, see the water coming out there. Now this is a bit wet than I would normally have it, but it's because I've just knocked it up. So got a pot there, filling our pots with compost, and chives don't like to be sown deeply. You just almost sow them on the surface that's about 1/2 centimetre deep. So what I usually find is I can fill the compost up to the top, give them a firm down with another pot, and that's going to be about 1 centimetre to 1/2 centimetre from the top there. Then all I do, clean off my hands to handle the seed, and get our chives. This is chive seed here. So not too bad at all really to sow. And I'm going to use my little pinching technique like I'm seasoning a sauce. I'm just scattering it around, but obviously you can manipulate it if you want to. Some people use a pencil, some people use a label, and you can, if you're wanting to control how many you're putting in there. Okay, so I've sown 6 pots worth. I've put about 8 seeds in each pot because I really want to fill them out very quickly. And then I've simply just taken the compost after I've sown, fill up to just a very slight mound of the top, and then use another pot just to again gently firm down to make sure that the compost is in contact with the seed. And that's it done. All I need to do now is label with the date. And although it's not too critical with this one because I've made the compost very wet, I would mist over the top just to make sure that the compost hasn't become dry where I've been handling it. I'll then stick in a tray to soak up any water that it needed. However, these are nice and wet, so I won't bother putting any additional water in the tray for now. And when I water them each day, I'll be just putting water in the tray, and if the top compost becomes dry, I'll just mist the top. Hopefully I will see these in about 2 to 4 weeks come up as a seedling, and then probably within, I would say, 7 to 8 weeks I would be harvesting the first few. And the way I'll harvest them is I will just snip a few off or pinch a few out.